Let's do a roundup of global markets. Today we'll start with Europe. European markets edged higher on the Pfizer vaccine approval and easing taper worries. Moving to the UK, the British retailer M&S saw strong gains and was up 4%. The Stock 600 index continued flat just as it had in Tuesday's trading session and was up about only 1 basis point. The DAX index broke a 3-day gain streak and was down 1/4%, with the biggest losers being healthcare, utilities and real estate. And the FTSE 100 was up around 1/3%, continuing to gain for a 4th day in a row. Financials and consumer discretionary were the biggest gainers there. The CAC 40 gains a little less than 1/5% in trade yesterday. Moving to how indices in the US closed. All 3 US benchmark indices rose mildly Wednesday. The Dow was up for a 4th day in a row, up 39 points or around 11 basis points, helped mainly by financials. This helped the Dow stay in the green for a 4th consecutive day and breach the highest in the last 6 trading sessions. Coming to the S&P and the Nasdaq, good news, both were up for a 5th day in a row and both reached record highs. The S&P 500 was up 10 points, nearly 1/4%, closing at a record high, and the Nasdaq composite was up 22 points or around 15 basis points. Moving to Asia, South Korea was the first country of the post-pandemic era to hike interest rates, with Asian stocks broadly giving mixed signals in early trade. South Korean markets were absolutely flat on the back of that announcement, and the Kospi was down just about 7 basis points in early trade. The Nikkei was up 5 basis points and the Shanghai was absolutely flat, just like Tuesday's start. The ASX 200 was down around 49 points or just above 0.5%. Going over to commodities, the London Metal Index gained a little over 1%, clocking its 3rd day of gains, and oil closed in on the $68 mark, with Brent closing in on the $72 a barrel mark. Expectations of a rate hike led gold to fall to $1,790 an ounce. The DCE iron ore continued to rise and was up 3% after yesterday's gain of 4%. The dollar reversed, rising mildly by 6 basis points after 4 consecutive days of fall, and the rupee fell marginally against the dollar by around 7 basis points and breaching the INR 74 a dollar mark. Treasury yields. Treasury yields rose to an almost 2-week high on Wednesday ahead of the speech later in the week by the Fed chair. The US 10-year yield closed in on the 1.33% mark, and Bitcoin was up just 2% at US dollars 49,000. That's a roundup of global markets.